James Bond and MI6, is there fact in fiction? After pandemic-induced delays and a sudden change of director, the latest long-awaited Bond movie is hitting the screens. No Time to Die is the 25th Bond movie and Daniel Craig's final outing as James Bond. So does the Bond fantasy bear any relation at all to life in the real MI6, Britain's external spy agency, more properly known as the Secret Intelligence Service, SIS? I think the biggest way it differs, says Sam, not her real name / is that we're much more collaborative than the people in Bond. Sam is a career MI6 case officer with a background in counter-terrorism, one of several serving intelligence officers I requested to meet and interview ahead of the latest Bond release. Alright, so if they are not Bond, what exactly do real-life MI6 officers do, whether based in their Thameside headquarters or out in the field overseas? There's an enormous variety of roles that you can do, says Tara, also not her real name. There's agent running and recruiting, we need technical experts, we have comms teams, there's a sharp edge on the front line. But another MI6 officer told me, the idea of having some guy crash banging his way around the world shooting people up is absolute anathema to us. But step back a minute and consider some of the more dangerous parts of the world where Britain's overseas intelligence gatherers are likely to operate, and it is hard to imagine that if not actually armed themselves, then someone very close to them will be tooled up and watching over them. Strictly speaking, MI6 officers are not agents. They are intelligence officers who, at the sharp end, try to persuade the actual agents, who could be well-placed individuals, say, inside an Al-Qaeda attack planning cell or a hostile state's nuclear research facility, to steal vital secrets on behalf of Her Majesty's government. It is the agents who take the biggest risks every day, and it is clear that MI6 goes to great lengths to protect their identities and their families. There's a reliance on each other, says Tom, another serving officer. People do put their lives at risk in order to work with us, Tara adds. A lot has happened in the real world of espionage in the 6 years since the last Bond film, Spectre, in 2015. The Islamic State group's self-declared caliphate has come and gone, the deal to contain Iran's nuclear ambitions has all but collapsed, and China is making noises about taking back Taiwan. But in an age where almost every action we take leaves a digital footprint, is there still a place for old-school human intelligence, the time-honored art of persuading some people to help steal other people's secrets? If you look at the sort of end-to-end life cycle of data to its actually being analyzed, says Emma, again not her real name, a senior in-house technical officer, there are people involved at every step of that process. It's quite different to what we see on the films, Emma says. I have a much larger team of engineers working for me delivering new capability. There are officers at the upper echelons of MI6 today who began their careers in a time before either mobile phones or the internet, let alone social media. Back then it was still relatively easy to get an undercover intelligence officer across a border and into a hostile location using an assumed identity and sometimes, literally, a false beard and glasses. Take the Russian GRU team that traveled unimpeded to Salisbury in 2018 in order to, according to the Met Police, assassinate the former KGB officer Sergei Skripal. Today the data revolution, complete with iris recognition, biometric data, AI, cyber, encryption and quantum computing, has placed a premium on technology and espionage. But human intelligence will always be indispensable, says Sir Alex Younger, who ran MI6 for 6 years until last year. His fictional on-screen counterpart, M, as played by Ralph Fiennes in No Time to Die, warns prophetically that the world is arming faster than we can respond. It is something that clearly keeps the real-life women and men of MI6 turning up for work.